Shalom. First and foremost, before I get started with my lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations and blessings to the Akim that do this work in truth and sincerity. Lord willing, this video will be edifying and to the point. And, I basically want to get into, the government shutdown and, how many of these flights are being canceled. All right, many of these government officials aren't basically getting paid. All right. What else? Of course, the EBT situation and benefits. It makes me think about the scripture where it goes into a man shall desire to go into the city, but shall not be able. I was watching this video on social media, and basically, the lines was, packed, man. I mean, like, people were complaining about how they were standing in line for three plus hours. When they did finally get to, the portion to where they were supposed to board the plane already left. So it's like, man, it's, the Lord is definitely, working his work in these times, man. And at the perfect time, when you think about it, you have that wicked holiday that just passed, which was Halloween. Okay, and Jake, before they came up with that, what was it? The no junk food. The no junk food. Whatever it was, like you basically can't buy any junk food. You can't buy candy. You can't buy sodas. You can't buy any, cakes or anything like that with food stamps. Before that happened, before this year of that happening and Trump being in office, the years prior, man, Jake would literally go to the store. They could buy, candy and all kind of snakes, cakes and pies and all these different things to give to the kids to participate in, Halloween and trick-or-treating and all that BS. Now, the spirit has been taken away from that, because ain't no real people that's going to be suffering this time are going to be taking that money and spending it on candy to give it to kids for free. No, they'd rather go and take that money, all right, that they have, and go spend it on some food that'll probably last them 3 or 4 days, rather than spending on some candy, where they ain't going to be benefit from it anyway. And then you have, Thanksgiving coming up. All right, another holiday that these people like to celebrate, and these other people as well. They buy food. All right, they have people come, all across, people flying from across states to come visit family. And they would buy a majority of that food with food stamps, man. All right, I know people in my own family that receive benefits, man. And Thanksgiving and Christmas and all those holidays where they would use those particular type of things, benefits, to try to buy those things, to have a so-called good holiday, they're not gonna. It doesn't look like it's gonna be an eventful holiday for them this year, man. All right, look like they may be skipping out on, Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's and all that other garbage, man. So basically, man, the Lord is really just taking the mirth, all right, and the joy, all right, from these people's lives, man. Because every time you turn, every time you look, it looks like the Lord is just always, jabbing them up, man. All right, jabbing them up with something to basically, fuck up their life on this side, man. All right, to make Jake remember that, basically that this is not your rest, man. Let me get this real quick. This is, bear with me. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 17. A man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able. And with a lot of these, what is it? The people that basically be in those towers that be, navigating the pilots. A lot of those guys, man, are crucial. All right, to the to basically helping flying these planes, man. And they were basically saying, man, it's dangerous. All right, it's dangerous to basically fly these days, man, just because of what's going on with the government shutdown. But these people probably not gonna they probably not gonna adhere to that, man. They probably gonna end up driving, to try to participate in these man-made traditions, man. Ain't nothing really gonna stop these people until all hell really breaks loose, man. All right, the Lord has to turn it up a notch, man. All right, let's go here real quick to the next verse. This is verse 8. It says, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. All right, and that's of course going into Jacob's trouble, man, because at some point, when all hell breaks loose, a man is going to desire to go into the city. All right, and because of their pride, because they think that America's going to continue. All right, this is only going to be for a short moment. All right, they're still prideful, man. They think that they can, oh man, I got all this money, I got, I'm living in this nice house, I'm well off, I'm good, I got food stacked up. That's how many of these people think, man. All right, but what's coming to the earth, man, the Lord's going to make sure that it touches everybody. So that's why the scripture says what it says, man, because of their pride. All right, their houses shall be destroyed, man. All right, go here real quick. This is this is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 27. And it says, then shall one man desire to hear another, and to hear his voice. Shalakia. 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 27. So that one man shall desire to see another, and to hear his voice. So it's going to come into a point of time to where these people are going to desire to see one another and to hear their voice. All right, and when you watch on that movie, I think it was it This Is How It Ends? I think that's what it was. This Is How It Ends or something. But nevertheless, when all of those Teslas was basically running into each other, and these guys was trying to basically go over the bridge, but they couldn't because most of the cars was on fire. All right, the bridge, all right, was pretty much crowded, all right, with cars. All right, when you when they panned to the city, all right, you seen smoke in the distance, you heard gunfire, you heard screaming. All right, so these are the type of things that are going to be coming to this place, man. All right, and everybody basically calling for to bring everything back, what I mean, like open the government again, do this, do that, man. They pretty much asking for peace, so they'll be able to feed their family, pay their mortgages, and do that in the third, man. But Scripture says, as soon as they call for peace and safety, sudden destruction shall come. And I know that, what was it, in New York, they had this guy, he's a Muslim. He had got elected as mayor. And he was basically talking about how, how New York is basically going to be, all right, the home of the immigrants. We welcome all immigrants to New York. So that alone in itself, you got Trump saying, we're trying to deport immigrants and, sending out ICE and everything. And then you have this other guy here talking about that we welcome all immigrants, man. So that just shows you, a nation divided against itself, man. The scripture said, a nation divided against itself shall not stand, man. All right, you had, Arabs in the middle of the streets, man. You could have sworn that you was, in third world country, man. All right, looking at that video, when that mayor had won his position, man. You had dudes that had like fucking, the Arabic fucking, what is it, how they put them scarves around the top of their head, and that's what it looked like, man. I mean, they look like, what they would deem as so-called tees. You know what I mean? How they depict them in the Middle East, that's how it looked at here. You know what I mean? So, man, it's gonna get crazy, man. Things are gonna get crazy, and we just gonna, see how things pan out to be, man. But we can definitely see that the Lord is definitely moving, and that, this can lead to something, bigger. So, Lord willing, this video was edifying. Again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations and blessings to the Akim that do this work in truth and sincerity.